welcome. You're watching the morning news here on CNN News 18. I'm Sakshi Singh Letoria, bringing you all the latest news and updates from across the globe. The temperature is certainly rising up in Karnataka as the elections are just 4 days away. Prime Minister Modi will be participating in a massive roadshow in Bangalore for 2 days. The roadshow will begin at 10 a.m. today and will be of about 26.5 kilometers, followed by public rallies in Badami and Chief Minister Bommai's home turf, Haveri. Significantly, the Congress too is leaving no stone unturned. Former Congress President Sonia Gandhi will hit the campaign trail for the first time in 4 years by addressing a public meeting in Hubballi today. Remember, Karnataka will go to polls on May 10 and result will be announced on May 13.
ऐसी ही आतंकी साजिश पर बनी फिल्म केरला स्टोरी, ये केरला स्टोरी की इन दिनों काफी चर्चा है। कहते हैं केरला स्टोरी सिर्फ एक राज्य में हुई आतंकवादियों की छद्म नीतियों की साजिशों पर आधारित है। मैं ये देखकर हैरान हूं कि अपनी वोट बैंक की खातिर कांग्रेस ने आतंकवाद के सामने घुटने टेक दिए हैं। याद कीजिए, 4-5 साल पहले कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने कर्नाटका में आकर एचएएल पर क्या क्या झूठ नहीं फैलाया था। एचएएल के कर्मचारियों को भड़काने का प्रयास किया गया था और उस समय किया गया था जब सीमा पर हमारी सेना तैनात थी। इस चुनाव में इनके मुंह से एक बार भी कांग्रेस के नेताओं के मुंह से एचएएल का नाम नहीं निकल रहा है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on this massive outreach program. We've seen more than 22 rallies across. We'll see one in Bangalore where he's going to do 36 to 40 kilometers in over 2 days. So how much of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's impact is going to help the BJP gain in terms of seats?
There is no iota of doubt. The way Prime Minister is moving across the state and the way people are responding in the Prime Minister's rally, there is no iota of doubt. People will bless BJP because, see, people of Karnataka are fed up with this hung assembly. They are fed up with this hung assembly and they have seen because at the end of the day, state is paying for that. In the sense, the development work is getting hurt because of the confusion when the coalition government was there in Karnataka. And people are pretty clear this time. They don't want Congress government. They don't want hung assembly. They want to give a clear mandate for the Bharatiya Janata Party. But with the Prime Minister's program, and the way people are responding, again 7th, there's a program in Shimoga also. And tomorrow is covering Ballari district. Each day is covering more than 3 to 4 districts. And that's the reason why I'm telling you, I think trend is picking up in favor of BJP from last 2 weeks.
Let me ask about Shikaripura, the seat that you represent now. You've also been campaigning, but you have been touring the state at the same time. Your father has been elected several times from that seat. How easy or difficult is it to step into his shoes and to look at the seat? Is it going to be an easy win for you or is it going to be a tough one for you?
Let me tell you one thing. Nobody can replace Yediyurappa. He is a legend. When it comes to Shikaripur, yes, I'm blessed to contest from the constituency which has been represented by father from last 4 decades. I'm really blessed to contest from the constituency. At least I never expected that I'm going to contest from Shikaripur. I'm really thankful to our party high command for giving me this opportunity.
Was Varuna your choice?
Of course, I have more fans in Varuna also. I don't deny that. But end of the day, I'm happy that the High Command has given opportunity to contest from Shikaripur.
But the way you're talking about Mr. Virendra Patil being ousted as a Lingayat leader, as a chief minister, the BJP is also talking about how Mr. Yedurappa was ousted by the BJP and as a Lingayat leader, how he was treated as well.
Honorable, respected Yedurappa ji has made it pretty clear on umpty number of occasions. He has made it pretty clear. Resignation was his decision. Nobody forced Yedurappa ji to resign from CM's post. It was his decision. He had made it pretty clear. So the question will not arise at all.
I'd like to ask you one thing, the Congress manifesto that has come out. They have talked about banning organizations like the Bajrang Dal and the PFI. How do you look at the fact that not only have they equated the two of them and talking about banning Bajrang Dal itself?
Now, what else can you expect from the Congress party? Firstly, they're not going to come back to power in Karnataka. In the country, they're totally decimated. They're in power only in Rajasthan and one more state. So in Karnataka also, they are dreaming to come back to power, but that's not going to happen. But when it comes to coming back to Bajrang Dal issue, see, Bajrang Dal is not a PFI. So when Congress was in power, they never tried to control Naxalism in the country. They never tried to control terrorism in the country. But here is the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who successfully, when it comes to Article 370 or controlling the Naxalism in the country, but here is the Congress party where they want to ban the Bajrang Dal. Bajrang Dal, madam, this Bajrang Dal is not only limited to Karnataka. This is a Hindu organization which is present in across the country. So where is the question of Congress banning the Bajrang Dal?
So how do you feel, like, especially when they're talking about targeting it, saying that this is a unit of the BJP and we are looking at...
Vinashakale viparita buddhi. Vinashakale viparita buddhi. That's what I can say. I really feel pity about Congress party. See, this is a party which has ruled this country for last 50-55 years. And even today, if you see their manifesto, they are talking about giving free gas, free electricity, 10,000 for youths. But this is a party which has ruled this country, na? Even today, they're talking about giving freebies. But when they had opportunity to rule this country, they did nothing for youths. They did nothing for poor people.
And Mr. D.K. Shumar talks about building more Hanuman temples. How do you look at that?
It's a big joke. I think Congress is totally confused in Karnataka. They're totally confused. A couple of months back, after Siddharamotsava, when Siddaramaya ji celebrated his birthday in Davangere, I think they felt that they're going to come back to power in Karnataka with absolute majority. But now they have realized. They understood the ground reality in Karnataka. Hence they're talking all this rubbish, banning Bajrang Dal and all this freebies.
Moving on, the situation continues to remain tense in Manipur. Indian troops have been deployed in northeastern state of Manipur with orders to shoot on sight and enforce a curfew as deadly clashes between tribal and non-tribal groups continued for the third day. The internet services are still shut across the state. Trains to Manipur have also been suspended. The police is appealing to people to remain calm and maintain peace. Along with that, the cops have also appealed to people to return weapons looted by them. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Home Affairs is closely monitoring the on-ground situation. As of now, 20,000 people have been taken to safer areas.
As you know, the army has been called in. Government has taken out order by which the curfew has been promulgated, and that shoot at sight order has been given. But the thing is that, of course, that is the last resort. If the public go away quietly, then there will be no need for that. First of all, we appeal that the arms be returned. And then because we have the CCTV footages and also other evidences We know that who are the people who are involved in these things. To give back the arms, the ammunition in the next few days. Otherwise, we will be forced to take very stringent actions.
इसमें अभी भी कुछ इलाकों में फुट हिल्स पर कुछ इलाकों में टेंशन अभी भी बरकरार है, जिसमें कि चूरा चांदपुर का इलाका, चूरा चांदपुर और ये जो विष्णुपुर है उसका बॉर्डर इलाका, कुछ जो एंटी राइट इक्विपमेंट्स हैं और बाकी जो फोर्सेस हैं उनको सबको डिप्लॉय करके हम लोग सारी चीज़ों को टैकल पूरी तरह से करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। कुछ हाउसेज भी बर्न हुए हैं, जो छोटे बड़े घरों को मिला करके करीब 500 से ज़्यादा हाउसेज को बर्न किया है लोगों ने। व्हीकल्स भी कुछ डैमेज हुई हैं, जिसका एग्जैक्ट फिगर अभी हम लोग एसर्टेन कर रहे हैं। कुछ हथियार जो पुलिस पार्टी से लूटे गए थे उनको भी उनके साथ कुछ रिकवरी किया गया है। उन लोगों को हम लोग पर्टिकुलर केस में जिसमें वो इन्वॉल्व है उसमें फॉरवर्ड करेंगे और उनके खिलाफ उचित कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
देखिए, यहाँ पे जो लोग आए हुए हैं अभी मणिपुर इंसिडेंट के बाद जो लोग आए हुए हैं, देर अभी यहाँ पे कुछ जगह पे अपना जो परिवार के जो लोग हैं उन लोग के घर में हैं और कुछ चर्च में है और कुछ स्कूल्स में हैं। तो हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि उन लोग का कोई मतलब समस्या ना हो। उन लोग का जो सिक्योरिटी रिलेटेड जो इशू है हम उसको पूरा छानबीन मतलब उसको हम पूरा मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। असम के ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब ने बताया है कि और निर्देश दिया है कि उन लोग का कोई परेशानी नहीं होना चाहिए। जो भी उन लोग का मतलब लोग है जो आके यहाँ पे अभी मतलब वो लोग शेल्टर लिया है, तो उन लोग के लिए जो भी करना है प्रशासन की तरफ से हम कर रहे हैं। और हम हमारे साथ असम राइफल भी है, हमारे साथ सीआरपीएफ के लोग भी हैं।
पता नहीं क्या हुआ अंदर, टोटली सरकार स्टेट गवर्नमेंट फेल है और होम डिपार्टमेंट हमारा सेंट्रल होम डिपार्टमेंट भी फेल है। उन लोगों को ये भनक लेना चाहिए था कि वो क्या हो सकता है। नो डाउट इंटेलिजेंस के पास खबर होगी, लेकिन ये सब कुछ होते हुए इतना बड़ा कांड हुआ हो गया, इतना जले, पता नहीं कितने लोग मरे होंगे, कितना क्या नुकसान हुआ होगा। ये सब चीज़ को टोटली होम मिनिस्ट्री फेल है और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट फेल है। मैं समझता हूँ उसका अगर नहीं कंट्रोल कर पा रहा है तो सरकार को भंग कर देना चाहिए, राष्ट्रपति को अपने कब्जे में स्टेट को ले लेना चाहिए, लोगों को बचाना चाहिए। आपस में भिड़ के लोग, पता नहीं कितने लोग मरे हैं। और वहाँ मणिपुर में आग लगेगी तो असम भी उसके जद में आएगा, चूँकि नेबरिंग स्टेट है। तो जो कुछ हुआ दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। और हमारे जो होम मिनिस्टर साहब है वो कर्नाटक को लेके ज़्यादा बिजी है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर को भी वही लेके बिजी है। उनके पास वक्त ही नहीं है कि मणिपुर भी इंडिया का एक स्टेट है।
It's a very sad state of affair in Manipur. We should not forget that at present all parties should refrain from politicizing it. Having said that, I must point out that Manipur is a double-engine government. Manipur is situated in such a geographical position which is very, very critical for India. It's so near to China and Burmese border, Myanmar border, and therefore it concerns us, and we are very, very worried about the situation.
यहाँ में रिफ्यूजी आ रहा है, मोर देन 300 अभी रजिस्टर हुआ है, अभी भी आ रहा है, कोई रास्ता में है। और अभी हम लोग यहाँ में रिलीफ कैंप बन रहा है उन लोग को मदद करने के लिए। अभी बुला रहा है ये सर्कल ऑफिसर और मजिस्ट्रेट, एसपी भी आया था। तो वी आर सीकिंग फॉर हेल्प टू द गवर्नमेंट।
Now, in a major operation against terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, 5 army jawans were martyred in Rajouri district. 5 soldiers were martyred and 1 sustained injuries after terrorists hiding in the Kandi forest in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri sector triggered an explosive during an encounter operation. Terror outfits PAFF, a shadow outfit of Jaish and Lashkar, claimed responsibility of the blast. Mobile and internet services have been suspended in Rajouri. Yesterday, on day 2 of the SCO meet, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar launched an unsparing attack on Pakistan over the issue of terrorism. Jaishankar hit out at Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's comments on cross-border attacks, stating that, and as I quote, victims of terrorism do not sit with perpetrators of terrorism.
जी बिल्कुल, मैं आपको बता दूं कि अभी जो लेटेस्ट जो खबर आई है कि इसके मुताबिक जो अभी जो 3 जवान जो पहले जख्मी हुए थे वो अपने जख्मों की ताव ना सहते हुए वो शहीद हो चुके हैं। कुल 5 जवान अब तक शहीद हो चुके हैं। और जो मैं अभी कंडी इलाके में मौजूद हूं, जो जोई जिले का कंडी इलाका है, और यहाँ से कुछ ही दूर पे जो है वो इनकाउंटर साइट है, जहाँ पे इनकाउंटर इस वक्त चल रहा है सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस में और जो आतंकवादियों में। और मैं आपको बता दूं कि 8 से 9 आतंकवादी बताए जाते हैं और 4 और 5 के ग्रुप में ये बटे हुए हैं। इस तरह की जो इनपुट्स जो सामने आई है। आपको बता दूं कि जो एक स्पेसिफिक इनपुट था सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के पास कि इस जंगल में जो है कंडी इलाके में ये ग्रुप जो है वो छुपा हुआ है, जिसके बाद तलाशी अभियान चलाया गया था। और तलाशी अभियान के बाद जब आतंकवादियों को ये लगा कि वो अब घिर चुके हैं, उसके बाद उन्होंने गोलियां ताबड़तोड़ जो है चलाई सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस पे और कुछ विस्फोट भी किए। जो ये पहाड़ हैं, यहाँ पे शाम होते ही कई दफा बादल आ जाते हैं, मौसम यकायक जो है वो खराब हो जाता है, जिसका फायदा इन आतंकवादियों को मिलता है और अंधेरा बहुत जल्दी हो जाता है, जिससे कि ये छिप जाते हैं इन जंगलों में और लोकल सपोर्ट के चलते इनको खाना और बाकी चीजें मुहैया होती हैं। और इसी का फायदा उठाकर ये पिछले कुछ महीनों से यहाँ पे ऑपरेट कर रहे थे।
On this matter, the terrorism matter, I mean, I would say Pakistan's credibility is depleting even faster than its forex reserves. He came here as a member, a foreign minister of an SCO member state. That is part of multilateral diplomacy. Please do not see it as anything more than that. It was not meant as anything more than that. It was not treated as anything more than that. And I think nothing that from what he said or what I heard he said deserves for this to be treated more than that. Mr. Bhutto Zardari was treated accordingly. As a promoter, justifier, and I'm sorry to say spokesperson of a terrorism industry, which is the mainstay of Pakistan, his positions were called out and they were countered. You know, victims of terrorism do not sit together with perpetrators of terrorism to discuss terrorism.
गर्व भी है, अफसोस तो बड़ा है। माता पिता होने बच्चे छोटे छोटे अफसोस भी होता है, पर गर्व भी बड़ा अपने देश की खातर। मरने वाले के घर भी मरी जाता कई बार, इंसान कोई नहीं मरी सकता, पर बाहर जो देश वास्ते मरना अच्छी बात है। नहीं होना चाहिए जो पूरे देश वास्ते कम आ भी अपने तो हर कोई जींदा जीना हो, दूसरे वास्ते भी जीना अच्छा है। हमारा दुख तो बड़ा है, बोलना बड़ा है, बोलने में मतलब है।
वो स्टार्टिंग से बहुत चाहते थे कि जब भी आर्मी वालों को देखते थे उनके दिल में मतलब एक ऐसा गौरव था। वो कहते थे कि स्टार्टिंग में हमने आर्मी में ही जाना है। और उनकी फिजिकल फिटनेस इतनी अच्छी थी, हौसले इतने बुलंद थे। लेकिन आज सुबह जैसे पता चला कि हमारा भाई नहीं रहा तो आंखें नमन नहीं रह गई। बस अब मैं यही कह सकता हूँ कि हमारा भाई नहीं मिलेगा। देश को बहुत कुछ मिलेगा लेकिन हमें अपना भाई नहीं मिलेगा।
आए दिन ऐसी वारदातें, ऐसी शहादतें हमें देखने को मिलती हैं। भारतीय सेना जो है आए दिन हमारे नौजवानों की शहादतें जो है वो होती आई हैं। ये कायराना हरकत जो है पाकिस्तान आए दिन करता रहता है और सालों से हम ये देखते आ रहे हैं।
Now we have some breaking news coming in. A separate encounter in Jammu Kashmir's Baramulla has taken place in which one terrorist has been killed. Encounter has taken place in the Karhama Kunzar area of Baramulla. Joint operation of Army Jammu and Kashmir Police said. Now with an encounter between security forces and terrorists already underway in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri, a terrorist was killed in a separate encounter that has been broken out in Baramulla. Kashmir Zone Police said in an encounter that has been started in Karzama Kunzar area of Baramulla. So this is a big breaking coming in, that a separate encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Baramulla has taken place in which one terrorist has been killed. This encounter has taken place in Karzama Kunzar area of Baramulla. This was a joint operation of Army and Jammu and Kashmir Police. Sources said that killed terrorist was affiliated with Lashkar-e-Toiba, LET. AK series weapons recovered from the killed terrorist. So it's a big breaking news coming in. With an encounter between security forces and terrorists already underway in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri, a terrorist was killed in a separate encounter that broke out today in Baramulla. With that, I have to take a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere as we'll come right back with more news and updates.
Ignored, investment is not being made, and we have deep challenges, and it show goes on.
So let me ask Professor Tejaswini Gowda of the BJP. One of the points that Mr. Pai made, and I think it's a valid point, Bangalore city has not had a functioning BBMP and a full-time mayor since 2020. For the last 3 years, Bangalore city has not had a mayor. Isn't that almost criminal in this day and age, that the city does not have one political points person that the people of the city can turn to and say, fix my problems?
Zaka, first let me pay my, it's the pride moment for me. This is the BJP government who erected Nadaprabhu Kempegowda. Because of his vision, we got this beautiful city. Today it is the capital of, Narendra Modi's leadership and BJP's development card, which provided a platform to the Bangalore name, brand name in the global arena.
Okay.
Number one. And also we erected that statue to give our future generation.
But ma'am, the statue is not going to fix Bangalore's problems, is it?
Statue is very important. Mohandas Pai has taken. This is the same pheasant. This is the same farmers. This is not, Bangalore is not the only city built on the river bank.
Okay.
He is the visionary. We had thousands of lakes, talabs here,
Yeah.
Today, why Bangalore is overpopulated? Because of its beautiful weather. We are peaceful, peace-loving people. Law and order is there. We support other cultures. People love to come here. We embrace everybody.
But ma'am,
isn't it
the job of a government to also ensure that people can go to their offices in a reasonable duration of time?
For 60 years not done this.
Okay.
Why they have not recognized the Bangalore potential? Why they have not brought this terminal to Bangalore?
Okay.
Why they have not established 7 airports? Why without any business is there scope
So
to
let me ask
airports?
Aishwarya Mahadev, and I think she has a fair point in as much as I started the show by saying that it's not that the traffic problem has suddenly burst in the last 2 or 3 years. It's been there.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. It's a big day for the British royal family as King Charles, who acceded to the British throne on the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September last year, will be formally crowned alongside his wife Camilla in a majestic religious ceremony at the Westminster Abbey in London today. The coronation was last witnessed by the world 70 years ago when Queen Elizabeth II was crowned. The slimmed-down ceremony will be attended by 2,000 guests, including political leaders, members of the royal family and celebrities. Over 7,000 troops have been rehearsing into the early hours of the day in preparation for one of their most historic royal duty to date, which is to line up the procession route for the gilded horse-drawn carriage of Charles and Camilla to be ridden from Buckingham Palace for their coronation.
The coronation will be a 2-hour ceremony at Westminster Abbey right here, riding centuries of history and tradition, but with several new touches. The sequence of rituals, and there will be many, will follow a logic of their own. Within Westminster Abbey, faith leaders and governors generals of the realms and prime ministers or their representatives with their flags carried on their behalf will move first into the abbey. The king and Camilla will follow, preceded by ceremonial staff carrying the regalia, which is a collection of precious royal objects. Their majesties will then be seated on the chairs of estate, newly done up for the occasion. Homage will be offered, and the Queen will then be anointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury. The service at the Abbey will last about 2 hours. Their Majesties at the end move back to the chairs of estate before heading out in the return procession and for that balcony appearance at Buckingham Palace. The coronation procession is due to leave about 17:30 IST and due to return to Buckingham Palace about 1800 IST. Of note, through the way back and in the procession to Westminster Abbey, the King's brother Andrew and his son Harry will not be there.
CNN's Riley Carlson gets us this report from London on what to expect from King Charles's coronation ceremony. Take a look.
High above the crowded streets,
135 meters above London,
a view from a modern vehicle. One William the Conqueror couldn't have imagined when he became the first king crowned in Westminster Abbey nearly 1,000 years ago.
we had turned one of our London iPods into a coronation capsule. You have a replica of 700 years old coronation chair.
King Charles III will be seated in the real coronation chair Saturday as he accepts his crown in a ceremony not seen in 70 years.
We have, of course, the crowning, we have the anointing, and then there'll be a big procession from the Abbey. And all of that happened with the King's mother, Queen Elizabeth II.
While maintaining much of the traditional pageantry, there are signs that Charles intends to leave his stamp on the institution.
He wants to make changes, and we can see this in the coronation.
The regalia also merging the old and new, from the historic robes and royal jewels to the carriages. One delivered in 2014, another dating back to 1762.
There are very few monarchies which have retained coaches working of this age, and therefore it's an incredibly special thing to see.
Those hoping to catch a glimpse of the royals in those coaches lining the streets days in advance.
I think he's going to make a wonderful king. He's waited all of his life for this. This is what he's been trained for. This is what his birthright is.
All in anticipation of the sacred moment when a new king is anointed before God and country.
Time for me to wrap up, but don't go anywhere as we'll come right back with more news and updates.